Netflix.
Yes. What
Monkey.
about Netflix? What's on it?
You're really bad at this word association thing.
Oh, over.
Netflix over?
Yeah.
Netflix over.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's hit the end
pizza.
of the road. I think within the next couple months we're going to see it. No, I don't know what I'm saying.
Pizza.
Oh. All the things I was going to say are two words. Delicious.
Okay. Pig.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah, pretty much. Hello and welcome. My name is Joseph.
Otherwise known as Yosef.
Yeah.
Sometimes sometimes it's Broseph, depending on if we
don't
get
mind
really...
me. Don't mind me. I'm just stalling.
That's good. Well, I'm
right, and I just thought of that too.
That's impressive. I'm Peter.
Like I said, Joseph.
Oh,
I said Joseph,
I'm
and
not
then
Peter.
immediately I thought Stalin, and then I was like, "Ooh, there's somewhere to go with this." I'm Brady,
and again, I'm Peter.
as you said, you're Peter. Hello and welcome to something entirely new, yet somewhat familiar, but also maybe not so much.
Yeah,
we don't know.
We don't know.
It hasn't happened yet. It's happening right now. There is a series on Netflix, if you're unfamiliar with it, called Dark Reflective Surfaces. Black
yes.
Mirror. Which is ultimately just a really effed up show.
Sure.
Super dark.
Yeah.
Kind of cringy.
There's
Definitely not for children. And
there's a couple that are not as dark. I've not seen many episodes, so I think there's like the one in the 20 that aren't as dark. But yeah, generally.
Yeah. A series that's really not for children.
Not even remotely.
And so you know what? I would say more or less, probably neither will this episode be. Like, you know, we won't really swear more than usual, but we're going to talk about some stuff that, like, if your kid's in the car and you're a good parent, then maybe wait. If your kid's in the car and you're a shit parent, then
let her rip.
Whatever.
Just go.
I mean, yeah, barrel on, right? You've come this far. Yeah, so we're gonna do the Black Mirror series, episode by episode, season 1 for sure.
Yep.
I am confident that we will do all of them, just because, you know, I don't know what the hell else are we gonna do. This is what we did with 007. You know, we'll see what happens, and then here we are. So we're going to do Black Mirror. This is essentially eventually going to replace our 007 series when our 007 series ceases to exist. But we thought we'd get a bit of a jump start on it. You know what? We've been talking with you, the listener, about doing Black Mirror for a little while now. We did a vote several months back on whether or not we should do it. And ultimately, you said yes. And then we've talked about it a bit. We've posted some stuff. So we thought, you know what, let's just do it. Let's get this thing started. This will be the only episode for the remainder of 2020, because 2020 is scary enough. So let's not push that. But we will resume promptly, and then we'll kick the year off right with some messed up Black Mirror stuff. Yeah, so the other thing is it's going to be a little different. Like, so some people are going to be bent out of shape right now. Some people are going to be like, I thought you were the movie man. It's not really a movie. It's kind of a series. Yeah, well, it's kind of a movie. Like, each episode's kind of its own self-contained short film, so shut up.
It's not a traditional television show where there's a sequential progression of storyline and characters. Like you said, each episode is different. It's just like it's like a film festival, really, like a really messed up film festival, but just a lot of short films that all have a commonality of being kind of ethically raising questions and philosophical questions, but are all just different stories. So in some ways, it's closer to a movie review than a TV review.
Yeah, it's closer to a movie review than something like Lost in Translation would be.
No.
And my other retort is, what if it were like Halloween or something, and the vote, the winner of the vote was like Charlie Brown and the Great Pumpkin? Nobody would whine. Nobody would get bent out of shape.
Right.
But Charlie Brown and the Great Pumpkin is like 30 some odd friggin' minutes. So screw you. You can't have your pie and eat it too, or cake, or whatever you're into.
Sure.
Just suck it up.
Yeah.
Black Mirror.
Sure.
So something we're going to do a little bit differently.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to talk about the episode. We're going to talk about what we think, the acting, so on and so forth, whatever.
Yeah.
The thing that's really interesting about Black Mirror, though, is each episode kind of poses some interesting questions, suggests some interesting ideas. There's room for a lot of discussion. There's a room for a lot of debate, potentially, or agreeance, or whatever. Just some interesting discussion. We're really going to dive into that and kind of do it in an unscripted way. So our Black Mirror episodes are going to be a little more conversational, a little less about the cinema of it, and just a little bit more us. It's going to be a little more candid. Just kind of us talking about stuff that we saw and what we think of that. And we may bunny trail, we may not. We may, I was going to say we may stay completely on topic, but that seems off-brand.
Yeah.
So, so let's dive into this. I'd seen this episode before. Have you seen this episode before? No. So I had seen this episode before because I think I've seen the first 6 or so episodes of Black Mirror. That's all I've seen. And despite, just like 007, despite Black Mirror being roll the dice and start where you land, I was like, well, no, it's stupid. There's seasons and episodes are numbered for a reason. So, which, I mean, they're not. But if you're going to watch it, why not watch it in order of release? So this is the first, not only is it the first Black Mirror episode we're reviewing, but like 4 years ago or something, when I first watched any Black Mirror, this was the Black Mirror episode that I dove in with. That's how I started.
Interesting.
So in a nutshell, in a 1,000-word essay, what did you think?
Before we actually, I'll answer that after I give you my answer. I'll be a good pupil. I will give my answer. Yeah,
Wait, you have trivia? You don't have trivia.
No.
No.
Actually, I just want you to tell me right now. I'm just generally curious what you thought of it then, and then we'll get to what you think of it now. But just at the time, like when you were first exposed to this 4 years ago, were you like press on forward to the next episode, or were you kind of a little pushed back, or what was your 4 years ago what was your impression?
Okay. Well, you answer what I asked you. Be a good pupil.
Okay.
And then
all right. Sorry, I'm just so curious. Yeah, it was an interesting ride, a captivating ride. Just as this show has a bit of a reputation attached to it, obviously, for things that make you uncomfortable. I wasn't that uncomfortable for most of the ride. Near the end, I was a little nauseous and kind of left with a depressed taste in my mouth once the episode was finished. Just with the layout of the episode near the end, it got a little real. Throughout most of it, it was just more theoreticals of, should we do this versus that? And it was more palatable. It was interesting. I've seen this would be probably like the 3rd or the 4th of all the whole series that I've seen. So I've got a bit of an exposure, but I still was didn't know what to expect. So, I was on the fence. It was an interesting ride, to say the least.
Okay. I guess we haven't really. I mean, the title of the episode says it, but we're doing episode 1, the national anthem,
Yes.
in which a prime minister is blackmailed to have sex with a pig on national television. Otherwise, presumably, the Princess of Wales or something. A princess is going to get executed publicly on television or broadcast or whatever.
Yeah. Some such.
Yeah, so the first time I watched this, I mean, like I said, I think I've seen 6 Black Mirror episodes.
Cool.
And of the 6 I've seen, I think this is my least favorite. I think this is the worst one.
Okay. Oh, wow.
And, hang on. Just adjusting my microphone here. Yeah, I think this is the worst one. I think this is my least favorite one.
Sure.
And I think when I watched the first one, I watched it because there was the craze. Everyone was like, "Oh, you could watch Black Mirror," and so then I watched this, and I was like, I don't get what the hype's about.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I immediately watched the second episode.
Sure.
Like, just let it autoplay. And I don't think that was because I really like that. Just keep going. I think it was because I would, when you're like, Netflix is on and you're just like, I don't even have the motivation in life to find something that I actually want to watch.
Yeah.
Just whatever.
Hashtag first world problems.
Just play. I think I had just gotten my kid to bed, and I was like, and my wife was, I don't know where she was at the time. She was like out somewhere. Maybe she was working.
Sure.
She was with some friends or a family. I who knows? But she wasn't home, and I had just gotten the little one to bed. And I was like, I was just spent. So I was like, whatever. Just give me. That one was kind of mindless. I don't think a lot stood out to me, except I was like, oh, this is just weird. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
I think I missed a lot of the theoretical questions. I think I missed a lot of what the episode was wanting to tell me the first time.
Sure.
I think I picked up on a lot more of that this time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was just like, play the next one, whatever. And then the next one is where I fell in love, where I was like, ooh, whoa. They're doing something weird here. They're doing something dark. Like, this is its own thing. This is cool. Whereas, because all the ones moving forward, not all the ones, most of the ones moving forward introduce some sort of like fantasy technology.
Right. Yeah.
Where this one really doesn't. This one's just a character study. Or not even a character study. It's just an analysis of certain actual real world things, technologies.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I don't know. It was a little heavy for me.
Sure.
It was a little like, I didn't get a lot out of that. Maybe that's because I didn't pay enough attention. This is like it's like West Wing. Like, is this like a political thing? I have to prime ministers and stuff. What? So yeah, I don't know. I think it was much better this time. Still, I think probably my least favorite. I'm viewing this episode as the hurdle to get over, to get into what's going to be a fun series.
It's the Deathly Hallows Part 1 of Black Mirror.
Yeah, you use that reference a lot. And I say that because you just used it like a couple of days ago in the Quantum of Solace episode. But whatever. Yeah, it's, you do you. Okay, so look, I've got a list here of questions. Not even questions, just kind of things. And I'm going to make a comment on the first thing that I've got written down here.
Please.
And I'm going to pose I'm basically going to say blah 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 blah, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
Cool.
Okay. I think one of the things that's really being analyzed here is the power of the internet and the power of viral content.
For sure.
And not only that, but it poses the question. I think the episode poses the question, is what I'm going to pose to you, and we'll start our discussion today.
Sure.
With, does viral content render TV and more traditional media irrelevant? In the sense that in this episode, prior to the TV reporting anything about what was happening with the princess's kidnapping, the video had gone viral.
Yeah.
And because TV at the time was not subject to, they weren't bound to, but there was kind of like this ethical code, whereas like we've been asked not to report on it.
Right.
So even though we don't have to abide by that,
but
it's
we
kind
do.
of really in bad taste not to.
Yeah.
But the internet and virality, the viralness of this online content doesn't care. Right? It shares and internet video impressions don't care about ethics.
No.
So what do you think?
Yeah, I think that's kind of a question that resonates a lot these days, right? Because I think it depends on the target audience, the target material, or the subject matter, and depending on what those variables are, yeah, there's very much the argument to be had that viral internet capabilities trump traditional media capabilities. And I think there's kind of the scale that kind of, as these factors change, like I said, what variables are involved, the scale slips from one side to the other. But you could argue that I think more and more, yeah, maybe traditional media will have less of a role as far as importance. And I guess it also depends on what type of what the underlying goal is from the end user too, right? Because at the end of the day, something going viral, if you're just wanting something viral, just to get a lay of the land of what's going on, yeah, that might trump everything. But you still might want more traditional sources, because if it's I'm kind of going on a rant here, but if it's just someone like actually an expert in a traditional source who might not have the same kind of tentacles or abilities to kind of disseminate what he or she is saying, but they actually have some validity to what they're saying. I guess they're saying there's a lot of variables to that answer, and depending on what variables there are in the question, that's where the direction of the answer would go.
Do you think, I'm wondering if so now I'm thinking about the episode, and
Sure.
I'm thinking about the coverage that we were getting from online versus the coverage that we were getting from this news company that the media,
Sure.
mainstream, or whatever Trump calls it, lame stream, whatever, who cares?
Yeah.
The media. And it seems like, whatever was online was just what was online. Like the terrorist was posting the video and people were sharing it.
Sure.
But what you got from the news, the television channel, whatever we want to call them, the media company,
Yeah.
it almost seemed biased. Okay, so stick with me here. We had the opinion polls.
Yep.
On whether or not the prime minister should do it.
Sure.
We had the fact that they didn't report on it until it got far enough out of hand.
Yeah.
There was the conversation. There's an interview that's happening, and the coverage that's being given here. It jumps instantly to, well, the terrorism must be religion motivated, Must be motivated by some form of religion.
Hmm.
And I think, but the biggest thing is like, so all throughout, so there's like some person to person in the street interviews of like, what do you think of the situation and what do you think should happen? And everyone that they interview says, oh, it's disgusting, it's gross, it's an embarrassment, he shouldn't do it, this is awful, whatever. However, we also see a lot of like real life examples of the nurses in the hospital, the people in the bar, so on and so forth, the couple that are in bed. And a lot of them have this like more, maybe they're pissed off with the government for one reason or another. And they've got this more kind of, no, I think it'd be a good show to see our prime minister do it with a pig. Not everyone is sympathetic.
Right.
But we get zero representation of that from the news channel. Right? You have all these real world examples of people who think, screw them. Do the pig. But the media is not covering any of that. The media is covering, initially, like in its interviews, it's covering just people who are maybe giving the answers that are going to give good ratings, are maybe going to give the answers that helps tell the story that the media station is wanting to tell. And so is it possible that like internet viral videos are by nature more objective, as a collective are more objective than mainstream media?
Yeah, interesting. Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah, there's just the thing that comes to mind with the kind of the viral internet. It kind of lets the end users kind of have a say, right? Because if you don't feel like sharing, kind of furthering the wave of whatever news it is that's going on, it dies off, right? So in a way, it can still be biased, but it has to go through a lot more hands to actually be at the same level of being on everyone's tablet, right?
It does. Well, I'm also thinking though that like, even though the media company didn't have to go along with any requests from the government per se, they were. But ultimately they didn't, they were. But in the beginning, there were attempts to take the video off YouTube were squandered because they said we'd take one down and 7 more pop up. It was like a Medusa, not a Medusa. What's the creature from Hercules where they chop his head off and
oh
gosh.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank.
Oh, that's gonna piss me off. Anyways, I'm gonna look that up here.
Sure.
But yeah, so they can't, the government. So this is an interesting question, I think. Do you think the government, to what extent do you think the government actually has control over the internet and technology sort of as a whole?
Currently.
Yeah, because I mean, they seem to have influence and some control over the media.
Yeah.
But as far as like internet, what goes viral and what is spread, the message that gets out from people who can just post and share their own content.
Yeah.
What control do they really have?
I don't know. I feel like the answer just by default has to be some control.
But why?
I think just it has to do with there are controls, there are facets of control that they have with existing media, so it's just natural to assume that carries over to other non-traditional forms of media. But yeah,
I guess But I don't know. It's interesting too because like even when they try to introduce, it's a Hydra. That's the multi-headed monster. It's like a Hydra.
Oh. Nice.
You cut its head off and more. Even when they try to implement laws, right? So they're like, as of midnight tonight, it will be illegal to own a copy of the pig,
Right.
Taping thing.
Sure. Yeah.
But that's not stopping it. Like the guy presses record on his DVR.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
How is that enforceable? So even when there's laws, right? So okay, so let's take a real world example.
Sure.
Film piracy.
Yeah.
There are a dozen laws pertaining to piracy of films.
Sure.
Jail time, huge fines.
Lots. Yeah.
Yet every day, millions of pieces of content are pirated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whether it's people use VPNs or they use, whatever else.
Sure.
Game of Thrones to date is still the most pirated piece of media ever.
Right. Second in that list is Bonanza.
Followed closely by Rawhide. But yeah, I don't know. So like, I wonder if that's just an illusion. I wonder if that control, like, I wonder if there's people who follow the rules that the government's setting out as far as technology and spreading information around because they're scared. But is there a real threat?
Right. Is it real or is it just perceived?
Right. And maybe that the
know.
government doesn't even understand technology. Because like they show, like they're like, oh, we'll just green screen the head onto this other guy, which they think is a totally viable option until the guy at the movie studio is like, that's not how the technology works. It can't be done. It can't be done in this amount of time.
Not in 2 hours.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So they're just super out of touch.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
But, and then, I don't know, man. I hate to get all like government on this, but like, I think there's this other really interesting layer of like hypocrisy in the sense that you have this government which is enforcing laws about censorship, about unruly content, about hiding things that are less than I don't know, family orient, whatever it is, right?
Sure.
Like they're pushing for screening content. Meanwhile, you have a guy within the government who is exchanging information for nudes that are being sent to him from a bathroom stall within the news agency.
True. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's all.
So as a reporter,
Yeah.
would you do what she did? Would you, like, at what point she gets her phone out, she runs into this building, she ultimately gets herself shot.
Yeah.
But she's like, I'm at the building where they've got the princess held, and I'm going in with my camera, and I'll hope I don't get shot, right? Like, is that reasonable? Like, I don't know. You do what you do to get your story, I guess. But what would you do? How far would you take that?
Yeah, it's one of those things where when I was watching that, I'm like, please stop. Like, there's just a discussion I've had with people in general where there's reporters, like, literally, like, you can hear shrapnel in the background, and I'm talking about real life events where they're like in like war zones, and it's like, do we really need you to be like? Could you not just kind of get your information and like send it from a Skype video in your hotel room? Like, why do you have to be in the action? And similar to this, like, I know this is all part of a commentary, but I'm just like, you please stop. Like, you're making me uncomfortable for your own well-being, and you're also probably going to influence the outcome of the actual people involved, whether it be the rescuers, whether it be the victim. Yeah, it's a commentary on what I guess just how at what cost comes to get the news story across, or to get news across. And in this case, it didn't really influence anything, but I thought that's what it was going to be, where the cost of getting kind of a story out was going to have some kind of ripple effect. So yeah, right. I'm definitely saying like, hey, stop, not worth it. But that's maybe my personality. Maybe I'm conservative. Maybe I'm just not the person to take my clothes off in a bathroom stall to kind of get a break on a case, or to go in the line of fire to kind of catch on my smartphone someone being rescued. So maybe that's just more about me.
That's why there's always going to be 5 or 6 more rungs ahead of you on that corporate ladder.
Maybe.
Okay, so the ultimate question for me with this episode.
Sure.
Do we or do we not negotiate with terrorists?
And
at what point, like, because there's different, do they just want money? Like, what is the threat? Does the threat play a part in deciding when we negotiate with terrorists? Or does not negotiating with terrorists need to be a steadfast rule? Because if it's by a case-by-case thing, then that's a lot of, like, who decides that? Who decides? The thing.
I'm wondering, too, another factor, and I have no historical or actual real-world application to, or a reference to this question, but maybe it's also the stage that it's set. Because I was wondering this question, too. I mean, maybe it's the threat that if they have a real threat, but it's done in a non-public way, maybe there's situations where a government would say, yeah, let's just appease these guys because they've got some dirty secrets on us. And it's, if the public doesn't know we made this deal, we're not setting a new standard, a precedent for new terrorists to say, hey, Great Britain will negotiate with you if you have enough dirt. So. Right.
But do you think that, like, so say you're the government,
sure,
and I'm the bad guy,
okay,
and I managed to extort you for,
sure,
$50 million,
yeah,
and the only way that I could successfully do that is if, for whatever reason, you can't get to me. You don't know my true identity. You can't
sure.
take me out. You can't stop me. You can't stop me. I hold power. You really think I'm not going to go, like, once that deal's done, why wouldn't I go public? Why wouldn't I make it known that was a thing that happened?
For sure. Oh, it's a valid question. Yeah, I don't know.
Right?
Yeah.
And here's another question. Again, as a government, as a bigger picture, not as a person-to-person thing, but like if it is hushed, if the public word isn't out, which they kind of deal with in this one, right? Like how would this situation have played out if they were able to contain it?
Right.
Right? Yeah. Would they, my guess is they would have let her, if she was going to die, she was going to die.
Mm-hmm.
And then and then there's no repercussions because they can make up whatever story they want.
Mm-hmm.
She was kidnapped and killed and we didn't have it. Like we didn't have an opportunity to.
Right.
Right.
See,
yeah.
Something that stood out to me with, kind of where the question that was being asked is, would you eat, and this is a question that's been asked for generations, but Would you eat a chocolate cake that you knew had manure in it? Would you? If no harm would come to you, like if no harm would come to you from eating it and it tasted great.
Are there repercussions of me doing it? Are there repercussions of me not doing it?
No. Like you just come home and there's a beautiful cake on your countertop, and you know for a fact that there's manure in it, but you also know for a fact that you won't become sick from it, and it tastes great.
And it tastes great. Probably not. just from a psychological standpoint.
For sure.
So are you saying that like?
Yeah.
Are you saying that like? No harm is going to come from him. No harm is going to come to him from having sex with a pig. It's just. Is that what you're saying? That it's a psychological thing?
No. What I'm just saying is, does the end justify the means? Where, hey, at the end of the day, he was going to save a human being from perceived death. And at the end of the day, if you write down that's what the end goal or the end objective was, then how he got there doesn't matter. And the end justifies the mean. He was saving a human from being killed, and it doesn't really matter how gross or grotesque or socially alienating the task was if the end justifies the means. But obviously then the kind of underlying question that was being asked took a left turn at the end, and it was less about does the end justify the means and more a question about disclosure.
Right. So you're saying okay, so this is a question for sure.
Yeah.
So you're the prime minister.
Prime minister.
And the princess has been kidnapped, or whoever.
Whatever.
Right? Or does it matter? Does it matter a princess versus a regular citizen?
Maybe.
Right? But let's say in this circumstance, we'll start with this circumstance. In this circumstance, sure. You're the prime minister, the princess has been kidnapped, the guy gets in touch with you, he wants you to get nasty with a pig on national television.
Sure.
Right now, like obviously, in the moment, who knows? Who knows how you act in the moment?
Yeah.
When the pressure is actually there and emotion hits, pressure hits, who knows?
Sure.
But right now, logical thinking Pete.
Okay.
You would do it? To save the girl? Because therein lies your answer to whether or not you negotiate with terrorists. Because if you're saying yes, you would do it, then the answer is yes, you negotiate with terrorists.
Right. Yeah. So sorry, you're asking me, would I do a grotesque? Sorry, I'm just trying to. I think I'm kind of blending
Okay, so if it's a real life situation and you're the prime minister,
yep.
Do you think you would have sex with the pig in order to save the princess?
Okay. See, I think there's two different questions here. One, would I do a grotesque task to get to some end goal? And as a separate task or a separate question, would I negotiate with terrorists?
Okay. Well, answer the pig one first.
The pig one first. Yeah, I don't want to answer the pig one. Yeah, it makes me uncomfortable to just think about. But at the end of the day, if a human being's life was on, literally, if I knew someone was not gonna double cross me, and if I knew that a human being's life was on the line, that definitely
doing it for sure would save her. You would need that reassurance.
Yeah, you need a crystal ball to say yes, you're not gonna, she's not gonna show up in an alley the next day and they double cross you. So
sure,
it physically brings me pain to actually say an answer, so I'm not going to, but I would heavily consider it if I had all those guarantees and an actual human being's life was on the line.
Right. I would like to think that I would.
Sure.
But at the same time, I think he, pardon the, no pun intended, I think he took it way better than I would take it. I think he...
Sure.
I think he kept his composure. I think the throwing up in the toilet afterwards is accurate, but I think I'd be throwing up... and this is just like me and how my body deals with anxiety.
Sure. Yeah.
But I think I would be throwing up going into it. Like I think it would destroy me, and I think I would weasel. I think it'd be far more last minute than he did it, and I think I would try to weasel out of it. Like,
right.
I'd like to think ultimately I would do it, but it certainly wouldn't be the hero story. It wouldn't be, I'll do anything to save the princess. It'd be like, shit, I guess I have to. Like, what else am I going to do, right? So
another interesting variable that I'm curious if it would change an individual's response to whether they do it or not. But another kind of adjustable variable would be, would the person who, and obviously in this case, because it's so viral, everyone under the sun knew what was going on. But if it was a less exposed event that wasn't viral, that wasn't covered in the news, that it was just a few people in a room who knew about it, would the victim know that you did such a it's not a heroic task, but such a grotesque, taxing, demanding task to save their life? Like, would having acknowledgement, and I'm not saying just praise, but would having someone's appreciation change that decision-making factor or not? Or if they just know, hey, I survived by someone saving me, and I don't know who it was, and I don't know how. Yeah, kind of like when someone receives an organ donation, like they don't know who it is, they just know that they received an organ. Would that change the decision-making process at all for an individual where, hey, I'm doing this horrible, grotesque task, I might need therapy for the rest of my life, and the person who I'm saving might be my neighbor who's still going to call me a jackass every morning because I leave their bottles on their lawn, but I saved their life, kind of thing.
Do you think you would want your damsel to know?
Well, and that's like a whole nother like there's like so many ripple questions to answer when these variables change, right? And I don't know. I don't know if I would or not.
Right. Like, I think I would, but I think that's an ego thing, right? Like, I think I would want. I don't think I could. I think I would just plummet into a depression if I did that and it was an unsung thing.
Another ripple would be, so there's so many different directions that change the dynamics of this, but there's the aspect of, does the person know if you saved them or not? And if they do or not, then there's they might not know. Then there could just be you receive all the alienation, so you're not even neutral, and they don't know that you saved them. So there's so many different variables of, maybe it's neutral and they don't know you did something, but it's just your own personal psychology of you're a shaken person. Maybe it's to the point you have to receive the alienation and people know that you had intercourse with a pig, but they don't know why. Like, we're kind of getting deep into the weeds here, and there's a lot of different ways to cut this, and you can break it down, but I'm just saying,
have sex with a pig, broadcast it, but if you tell anyone why it's happened, so like, maybe he says that maybe he contacts the prime minister privately. Yeah. And he says, if you don't do it, I'll kill her.
Right.
And if you tell anyone why you did it, I'll kill her.
Yeah.
So do it, broadcast it, don't tell anyone. Yeah, right. That's a whole nother variable.
There's so many.
Then you will be alienated forever. Like, there's no redemption from that. Nobody's understanding. Nobody goes, well, he had to do it. Everyone just goes.
Especially if you're in a relationship too, like your partner.
Oh, that relationship's over. Even in this, like we see in this one.
Future relationships potentially.
Right. So do you think? Because in this one, it seems like, the papers haven't been signed, but the divorce is definitely coming. Like, that marriage is over.
Oh, yeah.
Which is her decision.
For sure.
It would seem. She's done with him.
Yep.
Which, that seems unjustified to me.
Get off
what was he
lady.
Supposed to do?
Yeah.
Like, I get it's gross, and
it is.
And maybe you'll need counseling
that?
Before you can be. No, exactly. And you'll probably need counseling yourself as the wife before you can ever be intimate with him.
Yes.
And not, like, and these mental images.
Yep.
But give the guy a break. Like, what choice did he have?
Yeah.
But so ultimately, I don't know. I think you're right. I think it's two questions, or maybe it's the same question, but I'm answering in opposing ways depending on how you look at it. I would like to think that I would do the right thing.
Sure.
I think either way, I think it is the right thing. I think that saving someone's life is worth whatever cost.
Sure.
Namely, even your own life.
If not for human life, like that is kind of the utmost importance at the end of the day for most things, right? It's not monetary, right. It's not possessions.
Sure,
it's not,
if it's just saving someone.
Yeah.
Having said that, so I think it is the right thing. I think I'd like to think that I do the right thing. I don't know for sure that I could or would in the moment. Obviously, I'd like to say I would, but I don't know. But then if you were to just straight up ask me, do you negotiate with terrorists? I would say no, never, no matter what. So that's right. Like only because I struggle to think like how you either have to say, yes, we negotiate with every terrorist, or no, we negotiate with none.
Sure.
And I think if the answer is yes, we negotiate with terrorists, then you're going to go like you can't run a country that way. I think you're going to go bankrupt very, 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 very quick.
It can be a pretty slippery slope, and you kind of accelerate the game as things go along. Like crime goes up because, hey, there's a nickel to be had if we kidnap insert royal family, right?
Yeah. Well, and what's frightening is in this episode, there is nothing that happens that you even need to, suspend disbelief about. Like there's nothing in this episode that is not 100% possible for someone to do today.
Sure.
As a terrorist act goes, it's completely plausible and probably not difficult. Right? Like he bounced the signal off some proxies, so he's really tech savvy.
Yep.
He was able to kidnap her, so he had some brute force, or he hired some guys to do it.
Yeah, that one.
And then he released some videos.
That one, I will say, I feel like the other things that you're mentioning, yes, are possible. The one just like going up and kidnapping someone, like who is of that status, who would have bodyguards and.
It said she had 2 guards with her, but they were both found unconscious, or they both found, whatever.
Yeah. I'm agreeing with you 99%. That 1%, I've got a bit of a hiccup. Like that's a pretty big leap, but it's not impossible.
All you need in order to take out 2 guys and kidnap a girl is 3 guys.
For sure. Yeah, it's not impossible.
Like, I don't know.
It's not impossible.
But scale of 0 to 10 this episode.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a very good question. I gave it, I think I don't think that's from I'm going to give it a 7. And
wow.
Well, so I don't want to give it a number because it's such a different, unique experience. So I'm just picking a number off the top of my head. And also that might change. Like I might watch this next episode, the next 2 episodes, and I might go, actually, no, that was more of a 10. These 2 last episodes suck. I might go, wow, National Anthem sucks. It's a 1. So it's a soft 7. That could change. Cinematically, as a piece of film or a piece of cinema, it was a captivating ride. They used all the ingredients properly that I was drawn in. Underlying questions are interesting, and the enjoyment was pretty decent. I was a little uncomfortable by the end, but for the most part, I was just interested. So I'll give it a 7.
Of notable mention, Soft 7 was my nickname in high school.
Actually?
No, that's a it's a horrible nickname.
Oh, I was curious what it meant and so many other things.
Use your imagination.
Mm.
I give this thing I give this thing a 4.
Cool.
I think, I have seen the next couple,
Sure.
and I think this episode's got some great things to say,
Sure.
but I don't. The entertainment value is just not there for me. It
Sure.
doesn't capture my, I think our discussion is going to be so deep on these next ones.
Oh,
There's going to
cool.
be so much debate about would you, because ultimately what it's going to come down to, I think, each time is, would you use this technology? Why or why not?
Right. Yeah.
Is this okay? Why or why not?
Sure.
And that, to me, that is the fun of Black Mirror, is the ability to get lost in those existential questions. And it's just not so much, it's existent, but not prevalent in this one. So I give it a 4.
Cool.
Did you watch anything this week?
No, I was trying to think that question myself. I don't think what we've been watching, my wife and I recently, is the James Bond films going along with our series. So I think that's mainly it. I think I watched the first 10 minutes of Castaway. It was on TV, and I was 10 minutes is all I got because I was like putting the TV on to put on like The Wiggles or Sesame Street or something. But I was like, oh, it's Castaway. So like I watched it for a few minutes and then I switched it to the channel for my daughter. But I just thought it was coincidental that I just made reference to Castaway in our I Am Legend film review. And yeah, Castaway is so good. And I definitely want to sit down and watch the whole film again. But nothing of note that I watched this week.
Do you still have cable and or satellite? Is that what
I
you're
do.
saying to me?
I have satellite.
Wow, cut the cord, man. Ditch the dish. What are you doing?
I have a kind of a basic plan. It's mainly just for sports and the odd occasional thing that it's just hard to stream, like back when the Oscars were a thing before COVID, or when like certain live events were just, easier to just have a satellite to say I'm popping it on the tube.
Right, the stuff that you can't easily access online. Those things. Anyways, this week, since you haven't asked, I watched. So I forgot when you asked me last week. I left out three movies. Can you believe that?
That's a lot.
Yeah, I left out the first, second, and third Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
Oh, nice.
And so my only addition this week, it's been a slow week. My only addition this week is that I watched the first half of the fourth Pirates movie and then fell asleep. It was a taxing evening mentally, so I zonked. No, it's okay.
No. I wasn't sorry that you fell asleep. Just sorry that you watched the fourth film.
It's the one I haven't seen all the way through yet. It's the Thor: The Dark World of the Pirates of the Caribbean series for me.
Oh.
And you know what, the fifth one is amazing except for Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp is awful in the fifth Pirates of the Caribbean movie. It's like he forgot how to play Jack Sparrow, and it's like somebody doing an impression of Johnny Depp doing Jack Sparrow, and it's like 80% of the way there. But it's weird. Yeah, it's weird. It's like he jumps back and forth between Jack Sparrow and kind of like his Mad Hatter voice, and like it's bad. It's just bad. And I don't know. I'm showing the Pirates movies to someone who hasn't seen them, so we will finish the fourth one. We will watch the fifth one. I'm not looking forward to it.
No. You just kind of got to do it.
So you just got to barrel through.
Mm-hmm.
So aside from that, that's it though. That's what I watched.
Cool.
So hey, listen. Thank you for listening to this episode.
Thank you.
Moving forward after this episode is the Chilly Willy month of December. And can you believe November's over?
It's crazy.
I was going to talk about this this Spooktober thing that we did way back in October, where
Seems
every
like
episode that month.
Ages ago.
I was gonna be like, oh, this thing that we did way back in, but it also feels like I feel like it just happened.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like it was October was just like it just happened. I don't know.
Yeah.
November flew for me.
Yeah, it did.
But we're doing something similar for December.
Spooktober Part 2.0. Right?
4.2.0. Yeah, the jingle balls.
No,
bells
2.0. 2.0. It's in chapter 2. Nothing else.
I get it. Yeah, so we're going to we have three main episodes in December leading up towards Christmas. All three of them are going to be Christmas-y episodes. Mm-hmm. Starting next week with Home Alone.
Yes.
Which you guys voted for.
Yes.
And Home Alone 1.
Yes.
The following week, we are teaming back up with our naked brother from another mother, Stefan Duchesne, who's been on the show a couple of times in the past, owns a nudist campground, has his own nudist podcast, really swell guy, stunning, out of this world mustache. Like if you
these are all true facts.
If you can't say anything else nice about him, you can't fault him for his mustache. It's on point, and it has two. That was rough. I need to go to bed. We're teaming up with him to review Love Actually. A holiday favorite of Pete's. A holiday favorite of... No? Yeah. You said you watch it like every year.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I don't know why there was a hesitation.
You watch the movie every damn year, and you were about to say, I don't know if I would say it's a favorite. I can't go Christmas without watching it, but I mean, it's hit or miss. What? No, it's a holiday favorite. What are you talking about? Also a holiday favorite for Stefan's. I've never seen it.
No.
I just recently learned like who all's in it, like Alan Rickman and Rowan Atkinson and stuff. Like, so I was like, oh, holy shit. Like, I'm learning more and more about it. I just learned who was in it only like 2 years ago, or not even like a year ago. I learned that it's even a Christmas movie. Right.
Wow.
Because there's nothing in the title. Like if all you know is, oh yes, I've heard that title. I know of Love Actually.
Sure. It's not like Valentine's. It's not like Valentine's Day or something.
No, it's not like The Santa Claus. Oh, is that a Christmas movie or a Labor Day movie? So we're gonna do that, and then leading right up to Christmas, we are going to have one final Christmas movie vote. We have not released the options for that yet, but those are coming. And then we have a whole bunch of crazy shit planned for you in the new year. So stick tight. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be the third calendar year in which our podcast has breathed life.
Dang, that's crazy.
That's weird.
Quite.
It's weird. This show has had longevity that I wasn't expecting. Ultimately. Like, I don't know if I thought we would get this far, and I thought that if we did get this far, it would kind of be maybe not the beginning of the end, but the wheels are slowing down. We're kind of running out of things to do. We're kind of over it. We're still building. We're growing.
To be quite honest, I thought it would have been the lawsuits that had shut us down by now, but so far, our legal team has actually kept us afloat. So, thank you.
Thank you, Nathan Grunman, for that.
Yeah,
that's who knows. Who knew that $20 in a legal crash course out of the back of some guy's cube van is all you need, really.
More than what you need in some ways.
Yeah. So. Anyways, thank you so much for listening. Can I do the? I never do the housekeeping. Can I do it?
Clean the house.
Like all our shit. Follow us in places that Nobody's ever followed us before. Now, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I think that's it. Also, Patreon. Check out Patreon. Listen, for like less than $1 a day, for less than a cup of coffee a month, however the thing goes. No, seriously, there's a bunch of cool stuff on there, including opportunities to get yourself some merch. Like if you sign up for a tier, we'll send you some merch. But first and foremost, voting power. Voting power is huge. We had for our Halloween, for our Christmas vote coming up, Home Alone won.
It did.
The holiday came surprisingly close considering how few people voted for it. So like a shit ton of people voted for Home Alone, and a couple of people voted for The Holiday, but The Holiday still gave Home Alone a run for its money because The Holiday was backed by Patreon boosted votes.
Can I oh yeah.
How many was it off by?
What I'd say, it was close. What I would say, Home Alone and The Holiday were actually close. What I would say is Christmas with the Cranks was close to Home Alone considering the few people that voted for it.
Oh, okay. The Muppet Christmas Carol actually had it had the least, but
no.
It was still strong. It didn't have the least?
No, Cranks had the least. But everything was equally strong. Holiday and the Muppets are about equal. But yeah, Home Alone pulled through because of those Patreon votes.
Cool. Yeah. So you know what? It's I haven't looked at the numbers in a bit. That's embarrassing. I think for $3 a month.
Yes.
For $3 a month.
3 bonus votes.
Yeah, you get everywhere you vote. Facebook, Twitter. Not Twitter, sorry. Twitter, you only ever get one vote. But Facebook and Instagram, for $3 a month, every time you vote on a movie, your vote automatically gets tripled. It becomes worth $3. And then there is an opportunity to jack your vote up even higher. You can have it worth $5, which is bonkers.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, check it out. Either way, honestly, it's so appreciated. We continue to try to build the show. None of that money goes in our pockets ever, 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 ever. It all goes 100% back into the show, trying to make a better show, better content, make it sound better, make it feel better, whatever. And we do that all for you. So please check it out. The link's down below. You won't regret it. And if you do regret it,
don't worry about it.
Yeah, just, forget about it. So, thank you so much. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.